Wrestling Podcast. And his name is John Cena.
It sucks. Yeah, it sucks that like I wish those two guys could see eye to eye.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of like when you have two really strong-minded people that want the same thing and have a really strong idea how to get it done.
Yeah.
That's when you get those really bitter kind of like.
Yeah, it just sucks because like if he were there now, he'd unhinged. He'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But
Hey, we should actually do a podcast, guys.
They actually drove him to that. So yeah,
Oh,
all right.
shit. Podcast.
Podcast?
All right.
Huh?
Who's? Is it me?
Yes.
You were like the banter was jarred by your comment there. We had good banter.
Yeah, it was really good banter.
Good
What did
banter,
you
but it's
do?
about shit we're going to talk on the podcast today.
Whatever.
We're
God
talking
damn it,
about
Ray.
CM Punk.
It's Friday, September 23rd, 2016, and you're listening to On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. I'm Ray.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Brittany.
We used to be coworkers and learned we all enjoyed pro wrestling. I mean, that order is kind of off, right? But
We used to be friends.
this podcast gives us a space to shoot on all aspects of our favorite pastime without the confused looks we often got from the rest of the office.
This podcast gives you, the listener, a consistent bite-sized commentary on the world of wrestling, focused primarily on WWE's ever-expanding rosters and NXT, though we'll occasionally touch on the indies and international scene.
Every week, we'll either recap the previous week's WWE shows, specials, pay-per-views, takeovers, etc., or we'll download.
What's in your coffee there? Like,
fucking crack. We'll hold a discussion on a particular topic. This week, we're holding a round table on. We're actually going to do two topics. We're going to talk about Punk's debut in UFC 203 and some of the lead up to that. But we're also going to talk about our first WWE movie review.
oh man, I hope we keep doing this segment.
I really want to review some of these, but yeah, the 12 rounds 3 lockdown starring Dean Ambrose. It was magic.
All right, I mean, we'll see how the actual review goes. Watching them, definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Was it good?
Our one aborted podcast was the Brother Nero thing because
Yeah, but I think that was like a live watching thing.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
isn't gonna fully capture like
Yeah.
kind of thing. And I mean, let me be perfectly honest. I was sober watching fucking 12 rounds and I loved it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also on purpose go and watch all Rock movies on opening day, regardless of how like corny they are.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, let's start with Punk.
yeah, but you watch those drunk.
That's true. Really, really hammered. Because I want to get my money's worth.
All right, yeah, Punk. So Evolution of Punk is the proper way to lead into this.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it after through two stupid mistakes, but that thing was awesome.
Yeah, I
Like,
loved
it was the UFC version of, like, the old WWE 24 kind of thing they did for him. Just as cool. Like, biggest takeaway for me, like, overall, and then we'll go through the bullet points, is just, because we were talking about before, it just makes me super duper sad.
Yeah.
Like, that whole thing sets you up to just believe he's got, like a puncher's chance to, like, do okay.
That he'll get a punch in.
Yeah, and like knowing just how that match went down was rough. So
Yeah, it's awesome to see him get one. I mean, like he has 2 surgeries. One, he has shoulder injury, but like one is a back surgery that he absolutely needed and like wouldn't have gotten otherwise had he not done this training. So like,
and the dedication to his training is like, and just like his mental approach is
He
so
moved to Milwaukee.
good. He moved to Milwaukee where the gym was, Rufus Sport. He goes there, gets his ass beat twice a day. He's still mopping up the mats. Like he's, through his experience at WWE and his fandom, like he talks about like PMA, positive mental attitude and stuff, and like being humble and shit like that. And like, yeah, guy's still got like an astronomical ego, but like he's found a way to have like a huge ego and still sort of like be kind of a humble guy in his new life because he's not like cranky because of WWE antics anymore.
Yeah.
And like it was really cool to see that. And I was watching this with my wife, and she just kept like, after every episode, she's like, "Oh man, I really want him to win. I'm so sad. Like it worked this way. Like this is Like, so many other role models are pieces of crap compared to this guy.
Yeah.
Like that one scene with the girl and her father.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god, the girl who's crying and she's got like the straight edge X's written in like ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh my god, I just love you. The thing I really liked about it was that they also showed the dad basically saying like, hey man, thanks for being straight edge because it makes my job way easier.
Yeah.
Like, and that's really awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who don't know what it is, they just seem like, oh, you're super into rock and you must be like a horrible delinquent kid. And it's like,
Right.
no, actually, these are the kids that you want
Yeah.
being role models.
And
right?
that Make-A-Wish thing he did
Yes.
with that other kid.
Oh,
takes
they
him
go
on his
comic book shopping.
comic book shop
Oh, that
on
was
his debut
awesome.
day, and like it's just super awesome. Like so, he's definitely evolved to the point where he seems like an alright guy, and like he's not as bitter from the wrestling part.
Yeah, yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah,
And so you want him to succeed, right? That's the whole point of getting at it. It's like, and then this is the credits to the show. They built it in like that movie style where like you're just really wanting the sort of good guy to win.
Yep.
It's interesting because they kind of build it up as if he won, it makes you believe that he could have done it the whole time.
Right.
Because you watched him train for it and you realize maybe he's not as big of an asshole as we all thought he was and he's deserved this.
Yeah.
But because he lost, it did the justice of like, well, he tried and it really sucks he lost because he did everything right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the thing that sucks so long though is that the internet haters, fuck the hate, Mickey Gall 2016.
Yeah.
But if the haters are never going to watch this and be swayed. Like, the people that are going to hate on Punk are going to fucking hate on him no matter what, but this would be the thing you'd want to, like, force them to watch. You'd be like, fuck you, man, this guy tried.
They got a response from Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it, but basically, they asked him, like, what he thought about the CM Punk fight. And it's like, you know what, good on that guy. He did everything right. He went in there, he has the balls to go in there, and like, yeah, he took an ass kicking, but, like, good on him for fucking taking a shot.
It was really awesome looking at like my Facebook feed the day of the match because obviously everyone's super excited about this thing. I had never watched a UFC fight before. This is actually the first pay-per-view I had purchased to watch people beat the shit out of each other because go figure, as a wrestling fan, I don't actually like real violence.
Yeah.
But there'd be people who would be like, oh man, he's gonna get his ass beat, blah blah blah, and then wrestling fans would come in and go, yeah, but you're not in that ring.
Yeah.
Like.
No, I want to read the
simply-
actual Conor McGregor quote.
Sure.
Because it's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's been actually talking shit about WWE for a long time, especially John Cena.
Yeah.
Well, we all have.
Yeah, and he says, all right, I tell you what, fair play to him because he got in there and fought, and not a lot of people do. Not a lot of people have the balls to make that walk. He got his ass whooped, God bless, he got his ass whooped. Those WWE guys are straight pussies, but he isn't. He got in a fight and fought.
It's like great.
Yeah,
Off
I
the
mean,
cuff.
it's still obviously a backhanded compliment to the WWE at the same time.
Right.
But I feel like that's kind of the response from the people actually involved is like, man, the guy, he gave it a go.
He didn't
you know?
need to win. He just tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that itself is really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And Ray's been saying all along, like, UFC wanted the Rocky story as, like, this, as their result. They at least got the weird Rocky post-match speech from Punk.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so good.
And like, honestly, like, it's well. You're thinking of the Rocky IV, the Rocky IV, like
the unite Russia and the US.
Yeah, it's how he broke down the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
It's with that speech.
Oh, and we'll need Rocky VIII to break Trump's wall someday.
Yeah.
Before we move away too much from evolution,
Yeah, no, let's get back.
I just want to have like a call out to Larry, who is the most adorable dog, and two, the worst dog. Like he peed fucking everywhere.
The entire show.
and it's like it's just everywhere.
That
and
moment
within
broke
like
my
2
life.
minutes of walking in the new house.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. As a pet owner, I'm like this. Oh my god. I
Yeah.
fucking
Well,
love
they
it.
even joked, like, yo, we'll let it go pee over there. And then he was just like,
It's just like
Casey, like, lost it. And I was texting Brittany. Casey's losing her damn mind right now, laughing at Larry peeing
my
everywhere.
God.
Plus the underbite.
yeah, the underbite. Oh, the underbite with the little teeth. Oh, he's so cute.
Also, we don't have a note for it, but Swoon AJ.
Oh yeah.
It's just like
I love AJ.
my
Really great
goodness.
to see her on TV.
Yeah.
Like, I like her, and I like how supportive she is, but also, like, I don't want to see you get your ass beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of need to be there, don't I? Like,
Yeah.
It's very.
So she was probably there, but, like, backstage or something.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the camera on her at all, and I feel like they would have.
Yeah.
Especially after that build-up.
Yeah.
The match was in Chicago.
The
Not in Chicago, it was in
Cleveland.
Cleveland, that's right. I wrote Chicago because it's CM Punk. But it was in Cleveland, which is the same place that Punk walked into Vince's office and said, I quit.
Yeah,
well,
he references that on
He
the
says,
on
like,
the show.
oh, well, I'm cursed. Like, I
Yeah.
guess I have to win so I can break the curse. Which is funny because now he's, like, actually cursed in that building.
Yeah. The evolution, like, how do you guys like the way they built up the fighting and stuff, like, on the show? Like,
I think focusing on Punk for the first, like, mostly 3 episodes was really great.
Yeah.
And then bringing in Mickey Gall, you were immediately like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, no, it was
Like,
phrased just like a movie. It was
yeah,
awesome.
it was built up like you had that character development, and
Yeah.
then once you hit the peak, you introduced the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And I really like Mickey Gall, I think, as part of that story, because it was totally Rocky and a stereotypical villain, right?
Yeah.
But Mickey Gall was the wrong choice for this.
Yep.
I think,
Oh, are you talking just in general for the fight?
just in general,
Oh,
the
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
like a brown belt in judo. Like,
Right, but I mean, in terms of the actual villain and stuff, he's like the excellent choice. He fucking kind of looks like a douche, and he was talking shit.
I mean, he is a douche.
Yeah.
Like,
We don't know. I mean,
comes
he had
out
some
to,
respectful
Mickey,
moments.
You're so
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a douchey song.
it's like he's a heel. Like
Yeah, he's
CM
a-
Punk spent the whole fight getting fucking Mickey over.
Yeah.
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 He at least came out to his music. That was cool.
Yes.
That was our debate.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, I
There
was
was a lot of
wondering-
question. There was a lot of
Yeah,
question.
because it's like, and it's funny because he talked about it afterwards. It's like, oh, so you came out to Cult of Personality. We're wondering about that because WWE, blah blah blah. He's like, I fucking like that song. Do
It's
you
a good
not
song.
Like, do you not like that song? And I'm
Yeah.
like, and I was like, oh yeah, like
It was the most Punk like post-fight press conference I've ever seen.
yeah,
It's pretty good.
But yeah, so the fight happens. He takes a beating. I think he lasts like 3 minutes or so.
yeah. It was
And like
And he, like, his fucking face was purple.
he was purple. He
Yeah.
was purple.
Like,
And
he
then-
only lasted that long because that's the part where his, mind over matter as long as he possibly could,
Yeah.
right?
but
But like
yeah.
as soon as his face starts turning purple, you know it's just a matter of time before
Yeah.
he taps.
Yeah.
Like there was no way. I was really hoping. Like we were making bets beforehand. Like is he gonna make it out of the first round? Is he gonna make it out of the second? Is he gonna make it all the way to the end? I don't think any of us had him winning.
No.
Not
a single one
Like,
of us had
my
one.
dream situation, which sucks for his own personal health, was that he would find a way to last and just sort of earn some like respect that way.
Yeah.
I think that was like the best he could have done. But that's still a tall task, and then safety comes into play, right?
Yeah.
As he was not tapping until he finally did, and seeing how beat up he was already getting, I started like wondering, is the ref gonna just stop the match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a point where he
And they almost did.
Yeah, he
because he was
almost
kind of
did.
like illegally digging his feet into the fence or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were talking about that in the match, like, oh, he
Yeah.
can't do that. Like, surprised we're letting that go. And then that just led to him more being choked as he tried to get out.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so
I like the ending of the match.
Yeah.
Like Punk and Mickey embrace.
yeah.
And later we find out it's because Punk was basically telling Mickey, like, look, you've been hard on yourself and said you don't belong here on the main card. Like, shut up. Everyone's going to tell you that.
Yeah.
Don't do that as well.
Yeah, don't let them
Like,
put you back down.
super sportsmanlike,
Yeah.
right? And then Mickey comes out and says, like, super nice things about Punk. It's like, yeah, fuck the hate. Fuck the hate. I want war! And then,
Yeah.
it was...
Yeah, no, yeah, that was hilarious. We were all laughing at that. We all got together and watched it together.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
It's like a total, like, 24-year-old punk-ass kid response, right? Like...
Well, except for the part where he actually said the nice thing to begin with. Like,
Yeah.
he could have just said the other part, Like, he's amped. He just won that fight, biggest stage of his life.
Yeah, he could
He
have
still had the presence of mind to say, hey, this guy's been getting a lot of not cool hate. Fuck the hate. I mean, it was corny and cheesy, but
But it was
the sentiment
good
was
on
there.
him.
Yeah.
Good on him.
But then the
Good
next
on
part
him.
where he declares who he wants to fight and says, I'm ready, but also I'm ready for fucking war. It's
Yeah.
just too funny. Like,
Well,
just
and
too
I mean,
hilarious. Fuck
so-
the hate, but I'm fucking ready for war.
So Mickey Gall basically went into this knowing if he loses,
He's fucked.
He's fucked. His
Yeah.
career's
Yeah.
basically over because he lost to a guy that nobody expected him to win. Now that he's actually won, he went up against Punk. Like,
Yeah,
he is
but-
now made. People know his name. People
Yeah.
who don't watch UFC know his
Yeah.
name.
Exposure, yeah, big time. He was
Big
smart. He
time.
was smart to
It
call
was-
it
it
out.
was a
And the way in
great
which he
move.
did it, they highlighted on the evolution and all the pre-stuff about how he was looking to fight, Dana White looking to fight reality
Yeah,
show
yeah.
thing. And he grabs the mic with Dana White there and like very ballsy,
Yeah.
instead of just being like, oh, thank you, sir, thank you for the chance. He just is like, give me CM Punk.
Yeah, and you know what? It's smart because that's
Yeah.
what Dana White respects. So like, yeah, no, he did the right thing.
And then Punk has a face turn, does his whole thing about like believing in yourself, even if someone's telling you no. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
he
this
does
is so
he does the
great.
Rocky speech as Kyle said, and having him at the press conference.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
God,
a
he
rough
cried.
press conference.
Oof.
Oh,
He halfway through the press conference, it's more like it didn't go as I planned, and I don't know what I'm gonna do from here, and then like the second half is just like you can see him start to beat himself up,
Yeah.
like throughout, and it's heartbreaking,
yeah.
because like
Super sad.
he the thing he says like the way I'm beating myself up now is way worse than I got beat up in there,
Yeah.
and I completely believe it.
Like, I love Punk because he's a human
Yeah.
and he doesn't hide it.
Yeah.
And it's like, regardless of him, you know, and the way everything went down, because I put as much of the blame on him as I do on WWE, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he was a shitty employee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was going about things the wrong way.
Yeah.
In my opinion, from the outside looking in. And I'm
He had the
super
right,
judgmental, right?
yeah, like from what we were able to see through like the podcast he did with Colt Cabana and the specials and the stuff you heard from Stone Cold from other people and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It sounded like, you know, his intentions are good, but he was never willing, either side was never willing to be the first one to compromise. It all seemed like if that first crack happened, they could have made it work because like they had like, oh, we want to make it better.
You
But
need
like
someone to be the bigger man in that
yeah, and he
scenario.
didn't want to. He was like, no, you know what? I'm sick of jobbing to the part-timers or whatever, or like wrestling hurt or whatever. And so when he'd explain it, he'd be like, yeah, I could see that really pissed you off. But it was funny because while all that was going on last summer and we were talking about it like at a previous job, Brady and I were both going through like weird kind of things with like management. And it was like, well, don't do it the CM Punk way.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like-
it was actually something, and like
Yeah.
Kyle got me like the little pop figure CM Punk.
Yeah.
Because it was just one of those like, well, you can't do that with management. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a certain professionalism that you have to bring to all of this.
Yeah.
So that's why when I say like I put this as much on Punk as I do WWE, that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
Part of it is like I
exactly.
manage people in an office, so this is my
Yep.
life, right?
Yeah. Thank goodness, much lower or much less public stakes.
Yes.
Right.
Oh my God. Much
But,
less.
like, yeah, that's
I'm
why
also
he
not getting
resonates.
paid $500K to get beat up because
Yeah.
holy shit, Punk.
Yeah, it's funny though because like if you think about it in one
You like
one
this
se-
segue? You
Yeah, it
like
was good. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
I learned from the best. Thanks, Kyle.
In one sense, it's a fuck ton of money to get, you know, like you get $500,000 for, you know, a couple minutes.
I have no problem with that because that's what he's due. He's the reason there's that buy-in.
Right.
That
now-
one doesn't even fucking matter without
Yeah.
Punk.
There was something about how this was the highest purchased pay-per-view that didn't have Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, or any of the
Or
really-
McGregor, yeah.
or
Yeah.
McGregor on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden people are buying this, and it's like they knew that.
Yeah.
Like we were having a discussion before the podcast about like, well, maybe Punk should have like gone up through, you know, the looking for a fight reality show first, and then kind of worked his way up and done this. It's like, no, that's not why they did this. They did this to get money. UFC
Yeah.
is a business.
Well, yeah.
So-
My point with that was that for him to do it, sort of the way to actually looks out for him would be to
Yeah.
go about it that way, to give
Yeah.
him the best chance to not get fucking wrecked in UFC.
Yeah.
But I mean, Brittany's totally right. Like their fucking business and their best payout or their surest thing payout was to do this as soon as
Yeah,
possible
absolutely.
with no one knowing
While
anything
he's
about
an
him.
unknown. Yeah.
And then produce that fucking show that he did a great job of making you think he's got a chance. Like
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
expert marketing, right? Would you agree?
Yeah,
Actual marketer.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
What-
marketing guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The one thing that like I feel sad about is in another sense it's only 500,000 because if you think about it this way, because he lost so tremendously, Dana White has pretty much publicly stated that his next fight is not going to be in UFC.
Yeah, and that's kind of the back end to my point of like, you know, even more
That makes
monetary
sense.
success. They could have had a higher ceiling if they were willing to do the investment. They were not. They did the quickest purchase, which isn't surprising. Right?
Yeah, no.
But if they, you know, wanted to build him into a big ticket item, maybe, right?
Yeah.
But they did the safest thing money wise. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to feel sad for anybody, like Mickey Cole got $30K.
Right.
But also he's got a future.
he's got a future.
And he's fine.
Whereas Punk, like this is 500,000.
He also didn't get hit at all. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
probably maybe hurt himself the most landing
Yeah.
so ferociously. He got in
Yeah,
there so
his
quick.
Fists are bruised,
Yeah.
but it's 500,000 for Punk, and yeah, it's a lot in one day. But you also have to understand that all the training that he did, all the money that he spent on his dietary needs, like all this stuff, and also he doesn't have another fight coming up.
Yeah,
and there's
no.
no WWE contract coming
He's
up.
gonna fight in a fucking parking lot next.
Yeah,
Or
so,
at a glorified, like at a
I'm just
fairgrounds,
thinking about
right?
the next 5 years.
We're gonna start seeing him in bingo halls at fucking WrestleCon
Yeah.
and shit.
I just don't want like
He'll be back.
in the next 5 years after that money is gone, like
For all we know, he has an excellent agent and has been stashing all of his money in like
I
investment
hope so.
funds. Like I really
I
hope
hope
so.
so.
He
Right?
seems like a smart enough guy.
Yeah.
All right, final thing I'll ask you both then.
Okay.
Now that this door has been opened and mostly closed, potentially, and he's still young enough-ish, is he gonna go back to pro wrestling? In your opinion? Don't do all this, smart wrestling fan aspect of it.
No, I mean,
Just-
like honestly, it's hard to say. Like,
I think it's more possible now. With
I-
such a comprehensive beatdown, he'd maybe entertain the idea.
I think it's more possible for him to go to Japan than
Yeah.
it would be for him to go to WWE.
I think it's extremely low chance he goes to WWE. The only reason they'd be like non-zero is that they've shown that they're willing to change, and maybe that appeals to him. But his history of them so bad.
Yeah.
I think New Japan or Ring of Honor or whatever would be that kind of thing. You know, back to his whole wanting to give back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
or he
yeah.
does his own promotion with his Fat Lutz and,
Yeah.
you know, helps launch it, you know,
But
the Jeff Jarrett thing.
I think Triple H, like, doing the whole wedding thing, like, I think that
Yeah.
nailed him in
And that would be,
Yeah.
you know.
That was pretty bad.
I think it's very much going to be an Ultimate Warrior scenario where they don't chat for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And then once CM Punk's starting to get kind of old, someone buries the hatchet, extends the olive branch, whatever metaphor you want to use. And then that's maybe when they start talking again. Not saying that he'll go into the Hall of Fame. Like,
Right.
I don't think he's ever going into the Hall of Fame.
I think he will. You just might be dead.
I think he might when, like, one of the Triple H daughters takes over the company.
Maybe.
Like, and that's kind of the next evolution of, like, well, part of it is the people currently in charge went through all of this, right? So it's
Yeah.
hard for them to pull back and not put their emotion into it. Like,
Yeah.
once you have someone else running this company
Yep.
after Triple H, or someone else who is involved with the writing and the promotional side of it,
Correct.
who isn't currently involved. Kyle asked me not to be a smart wrestling fan, but
Yeah.
I'm totally kind
That's
of
okay. I mean,
I'm
we'll
looking at
entertain
kinda more
this.
from the business
We'll
side.
entertain this a little bit further, and then we'll move on to the movie thing.
Yay.
But I would then counter with that saying, okay, well, the power structure as we know it has been modified a little.
Yeah.
Insofar as, like, Daniel Bryan, Mick Foley, and Shane all have some form of a voice. We don't know how much.
Yeah.
They're obviously also, you know, they could just be their only on-screen talent as voices and not
Yeah.
really.
Stephanie
but, like,
is the primary externally facing member of the company to groups that are not wrestling specific.
Right.
so there's enough people there that if there was an interest, like, I feel like there could be some case where an olive branch could be extended. It's just, would Punk take it? And, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
See,
that's basically, yeah.
I think
agree.
he probably need
There's
more
two
time.
parties here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
show, the evolution of Punk thing, like, and his past interviews where you see he's actually happy, like, makes it.
he just needed to get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, like, since
He was tired.
Yeah, it could happen. I don't know. Personally, I would agree with the outside chance of if it's anytime soon where he wants to wrestle, it would be some independent thing.
Yeah.
It would be Japan.
Him coming
or-
back for, like, a cameo and putting on a match that isn't that great, like when Bret Hart came back.
Yeah.
Like, that's totally
I think-
possible, right?
I
But
think-
I don't think we're going to see, like, a still reasonably in his prime CM Punk WWE
I don't think
match.
we'll see CM Punk as a full-time wrestler in WWE.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the next thing he does is probably going to be going to, like, Bellator or some other.
We'll keep trying the UFC thing just because he's invested so much time.
I don't
into it.
Yeah, he's got another couple of years that he'll probably try it. and we'll
Yeah,
see.
I don't think it just won't be in UFC. I think it'll just be he'll do some of the minor league,
Yeah.
MMA shows, and then build some stats, build some learnings.
Yeah.
and then maybe Dana will give him another.
They might
shot.
give him one more, yeah. We'll
They'll-
see.
they'll-
Oh,
they'll give
CM
him
Punk is
another-
like 6-2 now or whatever.
Yeah, because that's the problem is, like, the bottom of the barrel for UFC are, like, people that are teaching martial arts and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey Gall.
Mickey Gall teaches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, let's talk about the movie.
Oh, fucking.
All right, so yeah, and we watched this all together. The plan we set up was we're celebrating.
Oh wait, spoilers. If
Oh,
you
yeah,
want
spoilers.
if you want to watch 12 Rounds 3,
Oh yeah,
lockdown.
yeah. Turn us off right now.
Turn us off right
Yeah.
now.
Come back to it later after. So the plan was we were all going to sit down. It was my husband's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and the plan was already watch the UFC fight. And we're like, well, we need to figure out what we're doing for a round table. Who knows if this is going to actually have 30 plus minutes worth of content. And I think since we started the podcast, we've been talking about doing WWE movie reviews. So, like,
Even before, I've been wanting to do Whiskey and Marine 4 forever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then when we saw the Dean Ambrose thing, we're like, oh, this is too good. Dean
Yeah.
Ambrose
Too good, we
Die
gotta do
Hard?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We gotta
Dean
do
Ambrose
it.
Die Hard.
So this was like, we watched the full pay-per-view, and they were like, all right, well, I just watched, like, a bunch of people get, like, their brains beat out of them.
Yeah.
Let's watch something fun.
And it's
then we turn
only
on the movie.
8:30. Let's
Yeah,
end the night
yeah,
on a
yeah.
positive note.
Yeah, it
So
was.
we end up watching this. Spoiler warning again, in case you're still listening. So the general premise is that Dean Ambrose plays Detective Shaw, who has been on hiatus for the last 9 months because his partner got killed in the line of duty. There was some sort of incident. They don't really talk about it too much, but it sounds like some of the cops in the precincts
Blame
blame
him.
Shaw for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So, like, there's this opening scene where he's walking through the precinct and everybody's like, oh, and they look at him and then, like, quickly turn away,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's got some giant mole on his cheek or something. I don't know.
So, things to note upon initial seeing of Ambrose are, one, he's like too clean looking.
Yeah,
but
he looks
two,
weird.
he's got his trademark saunter, which
Yeah.
makes
Oh
it
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, it's so funny because Ilea, like, doesn't watch a lot. My girlfriend doesn't watch a lot of wrestling.
No.
And so like
She called it first.
She called it first. Like, he has this walk. He has this saunter, and it's just like, that's his walk.
Yeah. So it's like it's Dean Ambrose as if like he hadn't had as much to drink before getting in the ring.
Yeah.
Not saying that he does, but like you know what
That's
I mean.
the
Like
running
that kind of
joke.
swag.
Yeah.
It's like he's a sober Dean Ambrose walking through this movie.
Yeah.
So it turns out, surprise, there's a number of cops in the precinct that are super corrupt.
Yeah.
There's this whole like drug trafficking thing happening. Like the opening scene, they end up killing this guy who's involved with a whole bunch of it to try and cover up the smuggling. Money's changing hands. It's really bad.
Yeah.
So you see this guy coming back to the precinct and getting plaudits from everyone and being praised for being the bomb when you know he's a piece of shit.
And then Dean Ambrose is sitting there like giving him the stink eye, like, yeah I know.
And everyone else is giving Dean Ambrose a stink eye, so it's like, oh man, Dean Ambrose is up against it.
Yeah,
Right.
he's got some shit he's got to deal with. So they try and destroy all evidence before the corrupt cops come back, and then turns out there's a credit card sized floppy drive that was kept in the pocket and was turned into the evidence locker. And for some reason, Dean Ambrose decides, well, I'm gonna look at these pictures and see what's on here.
Yeah.
So he sees the fucking pictures of like these corrupt cops getting drugs and all of the actual money statements of like, these guys are getting 50K, these guys are getting 30K, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
At what point do you not immediately just
Email.
the picture? You're on the fucking computer. Like, email the pictures to literally everyone there, and then the movie's over.
Yeah.
Like
Dean elects to saunter to the captain's office,
Captain
who's
Matthews.
not there.
Yeah.
And at this point, effectively, the other guys get warned because the corruption is all over the place.
Yeah.
They get warned that this evidence has been checked in.
Yeah.
And then they find out that Dean Ambrose signed it out, and the
And
building
then
goes into
lockdown.
Lockdown.
Fire alarm goes off.
Yeah.
Somebody pulls it, and basically all the cops get kicked out of the building.
All the internet goes down.
Yeah, like
everything.
they kill the cell signal, everything.
Yeah, they've got the lockdown procedures they have there are great.
Yes.
Other thing to note, that's probably way better than any other police station has, number one. Number two,
Yes.
it's like the swankiest, nicest looking metropolitan police station is
Yeah,
what
oh,
it
yeah.
says in all the windows too, which is great.
Metropolitan.
And three, the whole movie, aside from killing that guy in his apartment, takes place in this fucking building.
Yes.
You don't see
The
anything
whole thing,
else.
like
Yes.
even when at the end Dean Ambrose walks out,
Yeah.
it's like you don't even see like really outside the building.
Yeah, they do like the sunset thing.
So at this point in the movie, it turns into Home Alone meets Die Hard.
Oh my god, it's
Well,
not yet.
Not yet. I think it was definitely Die Hard, but it became Home Alone second. I don't know it's technicality, but it got to the point where we saw the first Home Alone-y thing, and someone made the joke, and then literally there's two more payouts immediately. We're like, holy shit!
So the
Kevin
thing
McAllister.
So the thing that happens in these 12-round movies is that the thing that ties them all together is that at one point somebody has a gun.
12 bullets left.
Yeah, and they always have 12 bullets left.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the beginning of this, there was 12 there's, I got 12 rounds. And
11 bad guys. I like those odds.
yeah, whatever. It starts off very Die Hard. It's very Die Hard where I'm even calling out plot points of Die Hard.
Yes.
And they're following.
And just wow, this is the
So
part.
Ray's feeling great about
I'm
himself.
fucking loving this because Die Hard is my favorite Christmas movie
It's
ever.
so good.
It's so good. And
But when the Home Alone things, and we should have actually itemized the creative deaths that he created.
I was trying to. I was strapped for time. When putting the notes
so
together.
the two that I remember the most, one, there's some scene where basically Brittany makes a note that there's a stupid intern cop who doesn't realize she's a hostage.
Oh my God.
So that's
Yeah.
super cute. She's bashful. She gets killed, and then the bad guy's like, Shaw, this one's on you too, or whatever. At some point, they have an exchange where Shaw gets a hold of her taser. Plot point for later,
Oh
right?
my god!
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
So-
Taser puts it away. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, so the payout for that one is Shaw gets pinned down by 5 guys in Uzis with the main bad guy. And,
Oh my god!
and he
How did I
kills
forget
one of those guys, and meanwhile, each time Shaw gets a headshot, it's gratuitous and fucking explodey and awesome.
Yeah.
He headshots a guy, that guy lands down. There's a lot of generic bearded white guy, evil guys in this movie
Oh,
too.
man, there's a
This
lot.
guy's holding his M4, and Shaw decides to taser the guy, knowing that the rigor mortis will trigger him shooting a shitload of bullets, and gets out of that shithole,
Yeah.
which is awesome. You could talk about the one on the roof, because I don't want to
Oh, the second one on the roof made me so happy because it was so Home Alone-y. He basically he's near I think he's near the elevators.
Yeah.
And he basically closes the door, and the door has a metal handle, and he breaks open the elevator thing and brings out the wires and ties the wires to the doors so
my God.
when the guy goes to grab the handle, he immediately gets electrocuted.
Okay, that's awesome. I was actually thinking of the one with the on the roof with the guy at the Tack Fest. Do you remember that one?
No, I don't.
Oh my god! That was so
All right,
good.
so
Yeah,
the
you
grenade.
did.
Oh my God, yeah.
All right, so yeah, you talk about how you saw that one because we all fucking yelled
Okay,
like
jumping in
idiots.
real quick. Clearly, this movie is awesome, and you
Yeah.
should see it.
Yeah, it was so...
It's worth seeing, and it's not that long.
Yeah.
Just watch it, but also keep listening.
As long as you don't care about plot holes, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of them. There's a
Oh,
ton
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
But it's a fun, stupid, awesome movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so the situation you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was this like really funny one that I remembered where like a smoke bomb goes off or something, and then Dean Ambrose basically pulls the grate off of the vent and puts it to the side, indicating that he has now crawled through the vent. So all the bad guys like just rush to the building and start shooting all the vents. And then they come back to it, and Dean Ambrose just steps out from behind a filing cabinet. And I'm like, oh, this is just so simple, but so great.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. The other one I was thinking of, that one was really awesome because they like waste the vents. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when he's basically fighting, so there's a bunch of, like I said, generic bearded white guys who all hate him, and then there's one non-generic bearded white guy because he's like 8'10". Like it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
and
that
so
one.
he gets in a fight with that guy on the roof, and that guy's got like at some point they all put on tack vests with copious amounts of grenades on themselves, and Dean Ambrose like pulls the pin on that guy, and he explodes into this plume of fire.
Yeah, it's
And
so bad,
it's
too.
so bad. There's no blood. It's just fire. The guy becomes a fireball.
Yeah,
It's a very self-contained
Yeah.
fireball.
Yeah, there's no like gore or anything. It's great.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Also, one thing I just, as we've been thinking about it, like at the end of the movie, if you want to talk about potholes, like Shaw makes some comment that's like, "This is how I knew when we were partners. You were a piece of shit." They didn't say that till like the last 5 minutes. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Going back from there. So eventually, at one point, the SWAT team gets called. I don't know why, because there's all these cops standing outside the building after it's been on lockdown. But whatever. So there's this boss police person that basically gives Burke like, "Hey." Burke is the leader of the corrupt cops. He says, "Okay, you've got like 5 minutes before we cut off the power and we all go in." So now suddenly you've got this element of like, holy shit, Dean Ambrose just needs to survive for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then suddenly he's fine.
Yeah.
And
that's
then,
really
like-
where they're like emphasizing the bullet countdown too.
Yeah, that it's like, okay, he's got like 6 bullets left, we're running out of time, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. So Shaw contacts the captain, the police chief, Matthews, and says, "I have evidence. Like, whatever they're telling you," because they're on the walkie-talkies, "whatever they're telling you, it's wrong. I have the evidence." And then turns out, she's like, "Oh, well, I'll meet you behind the building." She goes up, pulls a gun on Ambrose, because she's in on it too!
Yes.
Like, oh my god. And then Dean Ambrose just pulls this whole, like, I'm going to record the evil guy admitting to the plan the whole time.
Yeah, no, the evil guy, you gotta give him his due, because he comes out, and so now Ambrose is like sandwiched between two guns. Or no, she's in front of him, and the evil guy comes out, and he's like, "Oh, not only are you totally fucked, but you helped me clean up the mess." And he wastes the captain of the police
Oh, that's right.
that
Yeah.
was against him, and then that whole time, then you
That
find
way
out.
then they have to split less money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's to split less money, so greed wins. But then the SWAT team bursts down the door at this point. Dean Ambrose is about to lose, and that's when he produces, the iPhone recording this whole thing.
Yeah.
The funny part is, I thought it was the segment that he played back, like, had the least amount of details that would exonerate him.
Yeah.
And then he just drops the phone, cuffs the bad guy, and fucking walks out of there while everyone looks at him, mouth agape. And I turned to Brittany and I said, "Dude, the chief of police looks like Admiral Akbar." He's just dumb fish eyes stare at his face. He's like really bald, and it just, I don't know. It was awesome. It
I
was
kind of
crazy.
wanted like an 80s montage song to play as Dean Ambrose was walking out of the building.
Yeah.
I would have liked every time it was just a scene of him walking if they just played the Dean Ambrose music, like
Yeah.
slightly in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so final score out of 10, Ray.
Oh shit. Out of 10? Oh, come back to me. I don't even know how
Kyle.
to score this.
I'm like pretty forgiving with movies, so like to me, like it's all about how much I was personally entertained.
Yeah.
I don't project to say what other people should be entertained.
Yeah.
So on my own personal entertainment scale, it was like a solid like 8 out of 10.
I would say an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I was
as
gonna
well.
get 8.5.
Like,
Like,
it's not the
there's
most
just enough
ridiculous entertaining movie I've seen.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I was fully entertained the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't
And I was
drunk.
sober. I was sober.
Yeah.
I
Like-
also was not drunk. We enhanced it. We had really good apple crisp. So
Oh.
props to
Oh,
my
the
wife.
apple crisp was
But,
delicious.
like
A
as
little bit of
Steve
ice.
said, the whole movie ends with an email. So
Yes.
you gotta give, I don't like to get too crazy about movie plot holes, but I mean, he's literally on the computer when he finds out. All he has to do.
It just
Drag
send.
attachment,
Yeah.
send all at Metropolitan Police Statement.
Yeah.
So it
PlayStation.com.
was great. Like, I could see him doing other stuff.
Yeah.
I really want to watch The Marine now.
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna do.
This needs to be a repeat segment
yes.
where we review movies and
Yeah, we'll
whatnot.
see.
I'm
I think
totally
so.
fine.
I mean, I want to watch that Marine either way.
That's how much Kyle love this movie.
And it makes me want to check out. So now, since I put it on my own fucking Amazon watch list, the amount of shitty B action movies that are being recommended to me is pretty great. Like, and depending on how long it takes me to get a job, I may watch a lot of those.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this week. If you like the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at OnTheHeelsWP and on Facebook.com/OnTheHeelsWP. We're also on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube, so you can listen to us and find us in multiple places.
Sweet. So hit the subscribe button on iTunes, on YouTube, on SoundCloud. Subscribe everywhere. Give us a 5-star rating, the likes.
Thumbs up.
Give us
Like.
those thumbs ups. And tell your wrestling buddies about the podcast. And message us, tweet us. Our DMs are open, and we will respond and share.
Jeez. Thanks for listening to On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. Tune into our next episode where we'll be talking about Raw, results of CWC, and initial thoughts on how the WWE will integrate the cruiserweights on Raw.
Oh, man, I can't wait to talk about that.
And then, after all that, we'll ask ourselves the eternal question: how can one both say "fuck the hate," but also "I'm ready for fucking war"?
Man, Mickey Gall. Mickey
Gall.
Gall's the only guy.
The philosopher Mickey Gall,
Oh, man. He just, fucking...
the yin and the yang of Mickey
Yeah,
Gall.
he can just fuck that hate and then just be ready for war, ready to fuck shit up.
You don't know what Mickey Gall you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.